गुड मर्निङ सबैलाई सुरु गरे हुन्छ अब
हुन्छ म्याम
हुन्छ
Morning, ma'am.
गुड मर्निङ गुड मर्निङ के भयो Okay, today we'll be talking about RH isoimmunization. तपाईहरुको क्लासमा कति जना छ पारस? पारस
म्याम 76
76 जम्मा 51 जना मात्रै छ जस्तो लाग्यो है
हजुर म्याम
आउँदैनन् अरु 51 त इन्क्लुडिङ हैन 26 जना कहाँ छ त तिनीहरु मलाई छ नि हेर्न पारस यो कति जना आएको छैन तिनीहरुको नाम छ नि पठाइदेऊ न ल है
हुन्छ म्याम
Okay, we will start, right? So today we'll be talking about RH isoimmunization. By definition, what is isoimmunization? It's a process by which immune antibodies are produced in a person by an entry of an antigen of another individual of same species, and the former lacking the antigen. Okay, it holds true for everything, isoimmunization. So you बुझ्नुभएको the definition of isoimmunization?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, now we will go on to RH isoimmunization, which is also known as rhesus incompatibility. It's also known as rhesus disease. It's also known as hemolytic disease of the newborn. And when does this happen? It happens when RH negative mother gets pregnant with RH positive fetus. Okay, that is very important. RH negative mother gets pregnant with RH positive fetus. So she will be, she may be sensitized to the RH antigen and develop antibodies for the RH positive fetus. And this will cross the placenta and cause hemolysis of the fetal red blood cells. And then following that, all the problems or complications will follow. यसमा नबुझेको केही छ
Oh, ma'am.
यो एकजनाले मात्र नो भनिरहेछ अरु 52 कति जना छ अहिले कति जना आइपुग्यो ओके 59 सबैले नबुझेको हो त सबैले अरुले नबुझेको हो त
No, ma'am.
बुझेको छ,
ma'am.
बुझेको छ ओके सो म एउटा क्वेशन सोध्छु है त सपोज RH positive mother gets pregnant with RH negative fetus do you think all this process will occur or not
No, ma'am.
no
No,
why
म्याम
किन किन हुँदैन
RH antigen is not present maternal circulation मा जाँदैन म्याम
Yes, because RH negative fetus, Matthew, it doesn't have that antigen, I know. That is why. Now, we'll just go briefly into the history. In 1609, hydrospitalis was first described. I'm telling you all this because these are the complications of RH isoimmunization. Okay. In 1939, Levine and Stenston discovered atypical agglutinin. In 1940, Landsteiner and Weiner, they discovered RH antigen. In 1941, Levine discovered RH antibody. Sorry, antibody was antibody. Ayyo. एकछिन है अहिले देखिरहेछ
छैन, ma'am.
छैन एकछिन ल Ali, dekhiyo?
देखिए मैम।
Okay. Now, rhesus factor, which was discovered in 1940, there are different types. Agglutinogens, there are capital C, D, E, mainly D. Okay. So C, D, and E are dominant antigen. Pathological hematology ma pani parisakनुभयो होला. It's just a revision, right? So small c and small e will be recessive antigen. The person who lacks D antigen are called Rh negative. Okay. So those who lack D antigen are known as Rh negative. What are the different types of blood group? Rh positive would be 85%. Of them, DD, capital DD, when it's a homozygous, 35% huncha. Capital D, sano D, when it's a 50% huncha. And Rh negative will be 15%. There are other types of systems of blood grouping, which includes Kell, Lewis, Digo, Luther, Duffy, and NS. Kell is the most common of the minor group, and it is responsible for 10% of cases of severe antibody-mediated anemia. Okay, this is just a revision because it's important you all understand this. So incidence of Rh negative, it's about 2% in Indo-Eurasians. Chinese or Japanese are 1%. North American Indians are 1 to 2%. So Amruma almost about 1 to 2% huncha hola. Okay. Rh isoimmunization occurs when there is mismatched blood transfusion or when the Rh negative women bearing Rh positive fetus with feto-maternal hemorrhage. Okay. यहाँसम्म केही doubt छ? Yes, no.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Go into proper topic. What are the causes of feto-maternal hemorrhage? Okay. During pregnancy, if there is leakage of fetal cells into the maternal circulation, there is Rh positive fetal cells in the maternal circulation ma gayo bhane ke huncha ta, the mother produces antibodies against the fetal cells. Okay. Now, what are the causes for feto-maternal hemorrhage? Examples will be if there is abortion, if there is antepartum hemorrhage. What are the causes of antepartum hemorrhage?
Abruptio placental causes
Abruptio placenta, yes. Abruptio placenta अनि अर्को
placenta previa, vasa
placenta
previa.
previa अनि vasa previa, हैन? So this can also cause feto-maternal hemorrhage. अर्को चाहिँ when you do external cephalic version to make the baby in the longitudinal cephalic line. Vertex presentation ma ल्याउनको लागि if we or doctors, if we try to do external cephalic version, then that can also be a reason for feto-maternal hemorrhage. And procedures like chordocentesis, choriovenous sampling, amniocentesis can also cause feto-maternal hemorrhage if the mother is Rh negative and if the fetus is Rh positive. In cases of ectopic pregnancy, or when you're doing a cesarean section, when there's a vaginal delivery, when there is manual removal of placenta or silent feto-maternal hemorrhage. So these are the causes for feto-maternal hemorrhage. Can one of you repeat this slide?
During pregnancy, leakage of fetal cells in maternal circulation, Rh positive fetal cells in Rh negative maternal circulation. Examples: abortion, antepartum hemorrhage, external cephalic version, chordocentesis, choriovenous sampling, amniocentesis, ectopic pregnancy, cesarean section, vaginal delivery, manual removal of placenta, silent feto-maternal hemorrhage.
No,
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So I want to ask you something. Can Rh-IC immunization occur in the first pregnancy?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
First pregnancy ma hunai सक्दैन?
सक्छु ma'am. Less chances.
हुन सक्छ. Yes, less chances. किन हुन्छ सक्छ बाबा? कसले भनेको यो हुन सक्छ भनेर?
Ma'am, यस्तै fetal-placental hemorrhageहरू भयो भने.
Yes, silent feto-maternal hemorrhage can occur. Or if the lady has had a mismatched blood transfusion before. Okay, then in those conditions, even in the first pregnancy, there can be Rh-IC immunization. Okay, so this is a very common question that will be asked to you all. Can Rh-IC immunization occur in first pregnancy? Your answer is it is rare, but it can happen if the lady has had a mismatched transfusion before, or in cases of silent feto-maternal hemorrhages that can happen. Yes, no. बुझ्नु भएको हो होइन?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we will go into pathophysiology. Following feto-maternal hemorrhage, what happens? The initial response is there will be IgM antibodies produced in the maternal circulation. And that remains for about 6 weeks to 6 months. Following that, there will be production of immunoglobulin G. And immunoglobulin M is a large molecule protein, so that cannot cross the maternal placental barrier or blood placental barrier. It cannot cross that. Whereas immunoglobulin G is smaller compared to IgM. And on subsequent pregnancies, it can cross the placenta. And these IgG antibodies adhere to the antigen site on the surface of erythrocytes of the fetus, causing hemolysis. So the excessive removal of the circulatory RBCs leads to severe anemia and hypoxia in the fetus. यसमा नबुझेको केही छ. This is the pathophysiology behind Rh-IC immunization. नबुझेको केही छ?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
बुझ्नु भयो नि सबैले? है? So Rh immunization is due to D antigen in more than 90% of cases. Now, Rh antibodies coated RBCs are destroyed by the fetal cells, by the fetal reticuloendothelial cells, leading on to fetal anemia. So this will lead to fetal hypoxia, and then it will stimulate erythropoietin production. And then there will be extramedullary red cell synthesis, which leads to hepatosplenomegaly in the developing fetus. Later, it will lead to hepatic cell failure, leading to hypoproteinemia, increased intrahepatic pressure. Then there will be portal hypertension leading to ascites, edema, hypoxia. There will be increased placental thickness, polyhydramnios, pericardial effusion, and the end product will be fetal hydrops. Okay, so here is just a diagrammatic representation so that you all understand it well. So you can see here an Rh negative. It's called body minus. She gets married to Rh positive man, and then they conceive a child. So this Rh negative mother conceives a Rh positive child. Okay, or fetus. Now, cells from this Rh positive fetus enters into the woman's bloodstream. So what does the woman's blood do? के गर्छ त हाम्रो T cells हरूले के गर्छ नि? It starts producing antibodies to fight against the Rh positive cells. So in the next pregnancy, if the fetus is again Rh positive, then the maternal antibodies attack the fetal red blood cells, cause hemolysis, cause all the problems, and then the baby will have problems like fetal hydrops. यसमा नबुझेको केही छ?
No, ma'am.
बुझेको हो राम्ररी? सबैले बुझेको हो pathophysiology?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. Now, fetal maternal hemorrhage as a result of RH isoimmunization has been documented in first trimester in 6.7%, 13.9% in the second trimester, and 29% in the third trimester. This is the silent hemorrhage that we are talking about. Okay. Now, the amount of blood needed for sensitization is only 0.1 ml. Now, this thing that I have included or encroached into that red oval thing is a very famous MCQ that will be asked to you all. The amount of blood needed for RH sensitization is only 0.1 ml. Now, the complications of RH immunization. मैले अघि भनेको जस्तै fetal hydrops. Can you see, is this fetus normal? यो normal देखिन्छ यो बच्चा?
No, ma'am.
के देख्दैन? के normal छैन भन त बाबा यसमा?
There is ascites, abdominal
यो
fullness.
the abdomen looks full. Okay? देख्यो? अनि यो हेर त खुट्टाहरूलाई के भएको छ, हातहरूलाई के भएको छ, अनि यो छाला के भएको छ हेर त?
Peeling भयो
Sinusoid peeling भइरहेछ अनि यो सेतो सेतो देखिरहेछ कि हैन? That is because of edema. हैन? सबडर्मिसमा accumulation भयो फ्लुइडहरू अनि त्यसले गर्दा edema भयो. Look at the lips. Lips पनि कति मोटो मोटो देखिरहेछ. हो कि होइन? अनुहार पनि कत्रो ठुलो देखेको छ. So you can see, हैन? When you see this, you should know this is fetal hydrops because it can come in your OSCE also. हैन? देख्यो त यो बच्चा कस्तो देखिन्छ? So it is edematous. Everything is swollen. Okay, now. Now, other complication that can occur is icterus gravis neonatorum, neonatal jaundice. So, what happens in neonatal kernicterus? Neonatal jaundice like kernicterus pani bhaniन्छ when it's severe form. So, the fetus will look lethargic. There will be hypertonicity in the limbs. Hearing loss may be present. Cerebral palsy and then learning disability may occur if it is not treated earlier. And also there can be congenital anemia of newborn. So Esma, kehi doubt cha? Yes, no, or can I proceed?
No, ma'am.
La.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Icterus gravis neonatorum, it's a little severe form of hemolytic disease. The babies will be born without jaundice, but soon develops jaundice within 24 hours of birth. Normally, बच्चाहरूलाई jaundice हुन्छ कि हुँदैन? Physiological jaundice हुन्छ कि हुँदैन?
So, ma'am.
हुन्छ ma'am.
हुँदैन? हुन्छ नि, हैन? तर कहिले develop हुन्छ त?
Ma'am, after 24 hours.
Yes, it usually develops after 24 hours or between 24 to 48 hours of life. हैन? Now we will talk about bilirubin metabolism. के हुने रहेछ त? So incompatible fetus, there will be antibody cell coated cells which gets destroyed in the fetal spleen. The hemoglobin is destroyed, and then what happens? There will be increased amount of indirect bilirubin, which goes through the placenta to the maternal circulation, and through the maternal liver, it gets converted to direct bilirubin, which is harmless and gets excreted by the mother during pregnancy. This is when the fetus is inside the mother. I know. Jaundice, we are talking now about icterus gravidarum, in the newborn. Jaundice does not occur before delivery because bilirubin produced by the breakdown of cells in the fetal spleen passes via the placenta to the maternal circulation. The serum albumin transports the fetal bilirubin to the maternal liver, where an enzyme, glucuronide transferase, converts it to the excretable direct bilirubin. The liver of the neonate does not produce glucuronide transferase polymerase and cannot convert the bilirubin to an excretable form. Consequently, bilirubin accumulates and if not removed will collect in the tissue, causing jaundice and brain tissue damage. So after delivery, what happens? The fetal liver is not mature enough to produce the enzymes which can convert the indirect form to the direct form. And then it starts accumulating. And then when it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it causes different problems like convulsions. That is what is seen in kernicterus. Okay. So the concentration of bilirubin in the newborn, if it exceeds more than 20 milligrams per 100 ml, or in term fetus more than 342 millimoles per liter, and in preterm, if it is more than 205 millimoles per liter, then you say that it is kernicterus. And this indirect bilirubin, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and causes damage to the basal nuclei of the brain. यसमा नबुझेको केही छ?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now then we can go on to the screening and diagnosis. Right? So when the lady comes for antenatal checkup, in the first visit, you normally do hemoglobin. Normally, you have to do hemoglobin. You have to do blood group and RH typing. And if she is RH negative, you have to do her husband's blood group. If the husband is RH positive, then you send for antibody screening, that is indirect Coombs test. Okay? कुरा बुझ्नु भयो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if a lady is RH negative, what do you do? First visit मा तपाईहरु के गर्नुहुन्छ? एकजनाले भन्नुस् त ल. यहाँ लेखेको चिज सबै भन्ने हैन. मैले के भने त्यो भन्नुस् त ल.
Ma'am, first मा चाहिँ maternal blood grouping गराउने अनि यदि उहाँ चाहिँ RH negative निस्किनु भयो भने उसको husband को गराउने अनि if he is RH positive then अरु investigation चाहिँ IgG antibody detection indirect Coombs test बाट गर्ने.
Okay. ठीक छ. So how do you do indirect Coombs test? This is also quite common question that will be asked to you in your Viva especially. So what you do is you mix RHD positive cells with maternal serum and anti-RHD antibody will adhere. The RBC is then washed and is suspended with Coombs serum or anti-human globulin. So RBCs coated with antibodies will be agglutinated. Right now, this is what happens in indirect Coombs test. Now, direct Coombs test is not sent in the mother; it is sent in the cord blood or the fetal blood, or in the fetal or in the baby's blood. So, my indirect Coombs test, I will finish off with direct Coombs test also. Okay. So here the infant's RBC with Coombs is mixed with Coombs serum, and if the maternal antibodies are present, then the cells will agglutinate. Okay. If indirect Coombs test is positive, then father's RH should be tested. Okay. Now, if the mother is RH negative and if ICT is positive, how do you proceed? That is what is RH isoimmunization.
Ma'am, सानो आयो
Ma'am, एकदम
अहिले सुनिरहेछ छ?
हजुर ठीक छ ma'am.
Okay. Now, if mother is RH negative and if indirect Coombs test is positive, what do you do? That means she is RH sensitized or RH isoimmunization. Okay, so I know if ICT is positive, then you send maternal anti-D titers every 2 to 4 weeks. If the titer is less than 1/16, the fetus is not at risk. But if the titer is more than 1/16, then it is severe and the condition has to be evaluated. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
यो के भनेको this free meeting will end in 10 minutes भन्यो ठीक छ हामी फेरि त्यही उसमा जाने हो बाबु पारस
हजुर म्याम
ओके त्यही लिंकमा फेरि जाने हो 10 मिनेट पछि
हजुर म्याम
okay and then the other test that you need to do if the lady is ICT positive is ultrasonography of the fetus. Ultrasonography is done for the confirmation of the gestational age and also to detect the features of hydrops. Now, features of hydrops includes one or more of the following, which includes ascites, pleural effusion, pericardial effusion, and skin edema in the fetus. यो सबै जुन मैले अल्ट्रासोनोग्राफीको कुरा भनिरहेको छु यो मदरमा हैन यो फिटसमा हो है त हाइड्रोप्स मदरमा हुँदैन फिटसमा हुन्छ and when there is thickening of the placenta when you recognize hepatosplenomegaly in the fetus. So what are the two investigations you would do? के गर्ने रे अहिलेसम्म हामीले के गर्यौं when the mother is ICU immunized?
Serial maternal entity titer on USG.
Yes. अनि अहिले या second thing अनि USG मा हामी के हेर्ने त भन बाबा भन छिटो भन I'm telling you all to revise this because it's important. भन त हाइड्रोप्स को फीचर्सहरु के हो मैले के लेखाएको छ त्यहाँ
Ascites, pleural effusion,
Yes.
pericardial effusion, and skin edema.
अनि placental size
Size and
Placenta will be
hepatosplenomegaly in
yeah.
fetus.
in the fetus. Very good. Okay. Now, there are different modalities to check fetal anemia develop भएको छ कि छैन fetal bilirubin को level के छ भनेर. But nowadays, we have very good diagnostic modalities like Doppler, which is a non-invasive method and you do not need to worry about further or higher risk of ICU immunization. So we do middle cerebral artery peak velocity, peak systolic velocity once. So this is a Doppler ultrasound that you do, okay, on the fetus. It is a non-invasive method and the mother is not put at risk for worsening alloimmunization. And it can be used with allo antibodies other than RHD, including anti-KIL. So any kind of fetal anemia can be detected with Doppler ultrasonography. तपाईहरुको लागि तपाईहरुको लेभलको लागि यति भन्ने पुग्छ है. So what is the third investigation would you like to do? 1 2 3 भनिहाल त ल RH immunization को woman मा
Ma'am, serial antibody titer and त्यसपछि ultrasonography अनि अर्को भनेको चाहिँ middle cerebral artery peak velocity.
यो कसरी गर्ने त मिडल सेरेब्रल आर्टरी पिक भेलोसिटी हामीले पिक सिस्टोलिक भेलोसिटी कसरी पत्ता लगाउने हजुर
Ma'am,
यस अल्ट्रासाउन्ड डपलर मा त है त. So this is just to make you all just sensitized about what is MCA peak systolic velocity. So in different gestational age, it has to have a certain kind of graph. Okay, like you see Juncha, this is the median, there is no anemia. This is what will happen in a normal fetus who does not have anemia. But then whereas in fetuses who have anemia due to RH-IC immunization or any other cause, you will see this kind of a graph like A and B. B is severe and A is mild. Now, other ways of detecting fetal anemia or IC immunization will be chorionic villus sampling. Now, it is something that can be detected early, but the disadvantage is it's invasive and it's more complicated and you need an expert to do this. Okay. The other one is amniocentesis. Now, amniocentesis is done. It was done previously very frequently in the RH-IC immunization. भएको केसेसहरुमा. That is mainly to detect the RH factor of the fetus and amniotic fluid volume. Amniotic fluid bilirubin, the level of bilirubin in amniotic fluid. Then we go for critical titer, and the optical density of the amniotic fluid is measured, and the data is plotted in Lilly's curve. Okay. Then chordosynthesis. This is a more complicated procedure, but it's a gold standard for detection of fetal anemia, but it has greater morbidity and mortality. There is high risk of fetal loss following this procedure. Okay, so this kind of procedures are no more followed. We normally go for MCA, peak systolic volume by Doppler ultrasonography. But these are also the procedures that can be done to detect fetal anemia and fetal hyperbilirubinemia. So how do you manage a lady with Rh negative blood group? So if the mother is Rh negative, you have to find out whether she is immunized or whether she is non-immunized. I know. Yadi immunized छ भनेदेखि you have to find out whether she is के पत्ता लगाउनु पर्यो. इम्युनाइज छ भने के गर्नु पर्यो? अघि मैले के भनेको थिएँ?
एन्टिडी टाइटर.
एन्टिडी टाइटर, भेरी गुड. अनि त्यसपछि अर्को के गर्नु पर्यो? खै भनेको एन्टिडी टाइटर गर्यो अनि सिरियल एन्टिडी टाइटर गर्यो अनि त्यसपछि अरु के अर्को के गर्नु पर्छ हामीले इन्भेस्टिगेसन? युएसजी. बच्चालाई हेर्नलाई युएसजी चाहियो. त्यसपछि युएसजी डपलर चाहियो. हो कि होइन?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. यहाँसम्म नबुझेको केही छ? छैन?
No, ma'am.
ओके. ईशा, अरु के प्रोसिजर गर्न सकिन्छ which we are not doing anymore?
म्याम कोरियोनिक भिलाइको स्याम्पलिङ गर्न सकिन्छ अनि अर्को भनेको एम्नियोसिन्थेसिस गर्न सकिन्छ अनि अर्को इज कोर्डोसिन्थेसिस.
Yes, which is no more done because those are invasive tests and it causes more chances of aluminization and also fetal loss. Okay. Paras, we will continue with this. अहिले के फेरि त्यही उसमा जोइन गर्ने फेरि. यसलाई अपग्रेड गर्न मिल्दैन. के गर्ने?
मिल्दैन म्याम. 40 मिनेट चाहिँ दिन्छ म्याक्सिमम.
ए ओके. ओके, अब यो सकेपछि अनि फेरि जाने त्यही उसैमा हो?
हजुर म्याम.
Okay, so our aim of antenatal management is to predict which pregnancy is at risk. Question. How do you do an antenatal care of a woman who is Rh isoimmunized? Right. So those kind of questions can come to you as a short question, and your answer should be: the aim of the antenatal management will be to predict which pregnancy is at risk. You want to predict whether or not the fetus is severely affected, and you want to deliver the baby at the appropriate time, weighing the risk of prematurity. So the objectives are: for non-immunized women, we want to prevent alloimmunization, and for immunized women, that is isoimmunized women, we want to detect early, and we want to treat the fetal anemia. Okay, this is what the aim of antenatal management in isoimmunized case will be. Or Rh negative, you can answer the same way. Okay, so first thing that you would do is you would like to check the father. If father is Rh negative, baby will be Rh negative, managed as normal pregnancy. Now, if the father is Rh positive, then the problems can start. Now, then you have to see for ICT. If ICT is positive, then you do serial ICTs every 2 to 4 weeks. And if the titer is less than 1/16, not worried. More than 1/16, or it reaches 1/16, then you are worried. So non-immunized kolagi, you just manage as a normal pregnancy, but you repeat ICT frequently. That is at that is first time during the time she comes to the hospital, then at 28 weeks, then at 32 weeks, then at 28 weeks, you also give her anti-D immunoglobulin.